And now they get back on the line. And again, I'm obviously skipping sections of this because I'm not going to read the whole book. You should read the whole book. But they're back on the line, and now Brady is in charge of a platoon. He's a platoon commander. And Chafee comes around to check out his section of the line. Back to the book. My bunker was toward the base of the nose where it joined the main ridge. So the nose is a little terrain feature that stuck out, and that's where his bunker is. I showed Chafee over the ground, not going all the way to either flank. It was too late for that, and dark was coming. But I gave him the gist of it. Keep 50% of men on watch until I tell you different. All right? Aye, aye, sir. This looks like a good line, Brady. Better than the last. Yes, it does, sir. We've got work to do, though. Get some more wire in, plot the mines, and don't get too relaxed just because it's high. Any hill Marines can climb down, the Gooks can climb up. Get relaxed, and you'll find trouble. I said I wasn't too relaxed. Chafee greeted that with a grin. I don't imagine you are. First night on the line with a new platoon. I laughed. It was getting late, the sun gone now, but Chafee walked away. But Chafee walked with me for a way, the two of us alone. Not much I want to say, Brady. You'll do a fine job for me. I'm not worried about that. But one thing they don't tell you at Quantico, and maybe they should. Get to know your people as Marines, as professionals. Learn their capacities, their strengths, their weaknesses. But don't get to know them as men. None of this first name stuff. Don't ask about their families or their hometown, whether they're married, if they've got kids. Do that, and before you know it, you'll lose your judgment. You'll be sending a man out on point because he's single and not because he's the best point man. There's something else. Get to know your men too well, too personally, and when you lose one, you'll be losing a piece of yourself. A platoon leader can't afford that. It's bad enough losing men without losing pieces of you, too. Remember that, Brady. It's hard learned, and it's right. I said I would remember. Chafee went off, bouncing along the icy path and down the hacked-out steps of the reverse slope in the gloom, a lean, tireless figure who did not look back, who told you what to do and left you to do it. Now, that section, obviously in the SEAL teams, in special operations in general, there's definitely a much closer relationship between the officers and the senior enlisted guys and the troopers. That's just the way it is. I mean, you're doing everything together. You're going through training together. You're doing everything together. So that wall between the ranks definitely gets degraded somewhat. And this is something that I talk about all the time, and this is part of the dichotomy of leadership, right? This is part of the dichotomy of leadership, and what you do is, you're going to have your relationships with your guys, but you got to make sure that you got to make sure you keep those under control. And like for me, it was fairly easy for me to have really good relationships with guys, to have guys that were my best freaking friends, and be like, okay, and you're the best guy for this job, so you're going to go do that. And I never let the personal things cross over into my business, my tactical reasoning ever. It just didn't happen. And that's why I definitely had better relationships, closer relationships than what Chafee's talking about here. No doubt about it. And I think that's beneficial in a lot of ways because, you know what's making guys tick. And obviously the downfall to that is that when you do lose guys, you are going to lose a piece of you. And that's the reality of it.